a legendary voice in sports, an accusation that could end it all. Shannon Sharpe, once a celebrated NFL Hall of Famer and rising media personality, now finds himself at the center of one of the most controversial scandals in sports media. Allegations of assault, sexual misconduct, secret recordings, and even a rumored pregnancy with an ESPN staff member have sent shockwaves through the industry. It all started with a tweet, a cryptic, carefully worded statement claiming the relationship was 100% consensual. But within hours, the internet was ablaze. What was Sharpe really hiding? Was this an attempt to get ahead of a breaking story, or a desperate move to manage the fallout? In the days that followed, leaked text messages, voice recordings, and damning allegations from a woman known only as Jane Doe painted a picture far messier than Sharpe's calm, public demeanor suggested. Suddenly, the man who made headlines for his sharp takes and unapologetic confidence was being dragged into courtrooms and controversy. And now, with legal documents flying and media giants like ESPN scrambling to contain the damage, fans are left wondering, is Shannon Sharpe the victim of a setup, or is there a darker truth behind the scenes? This is not just a story about a celebrity scandal. It's a web of power, privacy, and public downfall, and it's only getting more twisted by the day. No one saw it coming. Not the fans, not the media, and not even his colleagues. Shannon Sharpe's abrupt announcement to step away from ESPN stunned everyone. Until then, he had been on a winning streak. His chemistry with Stephen A. Smith on First Take revitalized the show, pushing ratings through the roof. Sharpe was confident, charismatic, and dominating headlines for his sports commentary. But then came the tweet, a neatly worded message shared on X, hinting at something deeper beneath the surface. Sharpe's message read more like a legal statement than a personal reflection. He emphasized that the relationship in question was fully consensual, yet he was taking time off to focus on his family and deal with false and disruptive accusations. That's where the confusion and speculation began. Which relationship? What accusations? The vagueness only fueled internet fire. Within hours, blogs and gossip forums were speculating. One recurring rumor stood out. A young ESPN staff member was allegedly pregnant, and Shannon was the father. Though there was no confirmation from ESPN, the silence was deafening. The network had issued no statements, no denials, and certainly no defenses. For a company that swiftly distances itself from scandal, this quiet exit raised red flags. Stephen A. Smith's comments did little to clear the air. He praised Sharpe but admitted he had no idea what was really going on. "I'm not going to speak on someone's guilt or innocence," he said on air. That ambiguity made fans even more suspicious. Something was off. Behind the headlines is a complex, unsettling story. The woman at the center of it all, referred to as Jane Doe in court documents, was just 19 years old when she reportedly met Shannon Sharpe in 2023 at a gym. What began as casual flirting turned into a full-blown relationship, or so it seemed. Over the next 2 years, the two engaged in a series of romantic and sexual encounters. But by late 2024, things began to unravel. Jane claims that her trust was violated in more ways than one. One of the breaking points, a now infamous Instagram Live incident. Shannon reportedly went live while in bed with another woman, which Jane saw. The betrayal was public, embarrassing. From that moment, she started to pull away. But according to her legal filings, Shannon wasn't ready to let go. Her claims are severe. Jane alleges that Sharpe pursued her relentlessly after the breakup. She says he recorded their private encounters without her consent and even shared those recordings with others. These aren't just accusations of cheating or heartbreak. They're allegations of serious misconduct, possibly criminal. Shannon's team has firmly denied the claims. They argue the entire relationship was not only consensual but mutually initiated and sustained. They claim Jane's story changed only after Shannon refused a financial demand. Regardless, the court documents are filled with troubling details that go far beyond a lover's quarrel. What started as a personal affair was quickly turning into a full-blown legal battle, one that would drag private moments into the public eye. As the media frenzy intensified, Jane's lawyer Tony Busby made a strategic move. He released audio recordings allegedly between Jane and Shannon. The tapes were leaked to several outlets, and the contents were disturbing. In one clip, a man believed to be Sharpe is heard making violent, degrading remarks that many interpreted as threats. "Big black-eyed choke small white woman," the voice said. Whether whether intended as a joke or part of a disturbing pattern. The clip was enough to make headlines. Shannon's legal team didn't waste time. They slammed the leak as a manipulated clip and accused Jane of using edited recordings to push a false narrative. According to Sharpe's lawyer, Jane had tried to extort him with a short, misleading version of a much longer recording. Their claim that the full video, which they say is 10 minutes long, would reveal consensual role play, not abuse. But here's the catch. They didn't have the full video. Only Jane's team did. This move turned the case into a high-stakes legal chess match. Shannon's team publicly challenged Jane's attorney to release the entire video, claiming it would exonerate him. But Busby refused, arguing the evidence had already been shared during mediation and was protected by confidentiality. Fans, meanwhile, were divided. Was this a smear campaign or a man caught red-handed? The ambiguity of the tape, combined with the conflicting narratives, left everyone guessing. But one thing was certain, the fight was far from over. If the audio recordings raised eyebrows, the text messages nearly broke the internet. In an attempt to clear his name, Shannon and his legal team released 44 pages of explicit text exchanges between him and Jane. Their strategy was simple: prove the relationship was consensual and driven by mutual fantasy. But what happened next completely backfired. One message read, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it." Another, more graphic, stated, "I want to put my tongue in your bleep and then marry you." And perhaps most shocking of all was the text that sparked accusations of racial fetishization. "That's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me." Social media erupted. Critics blasted Shannon for sharing such explicit content publicly, even if it was consensual. Others questioned the intent behind the texts, calling out what they saw as deeply uncomfortable racial dynamics. Some even suggested the messages were disturbing, not just because of their content, but because they were part of a legal defense strategy. Rather than clearing his name, the texts added new layers to the controversy. Commenters on platforms like X and Reddit debated the morality, the legality, and the ethics of the situation. Was this just an unconventional relationship between adults, or something far more troubling? The public opinion began to tilt. Even Sharpe's supporters grew quiet. Suddenly, the debate was no longer about innocence or guilt. It was about character, patterns, and judgment. And the damage was already spreading. This wasn't Shannon Sharpe's first brush with controversy involving women. In 2023, another ex-girlfriend, Michelle Bundy, filed a lawsuit accusing him of defamation and abusive behavior. Her claims echoed the current allegations, but with even more harrowing detail. According to court records, Bundy confronted Sharpe in 2010 over suspicions of infidelity. Instead of de-escalating the situation, she alleged that Sharpe used physical intimidation, forcing her to her knees before engaging in non-consensual acts. Afterward, she claimed he threatened to destroy her reputation if she went public. His words, according to her, were chilling. "Any attempt on your part to disclose this will be met with a campaign to use everyone I know to destroy you." Bundy filed for a restraining order, but she eventually withdrew it, not because the claims weren't real, but out of fear. She later revealed that someone showed up at her apartment after the filing and told her to shut up. With her young daughter inside, Bundy panicked and backed off the case. "I ran and dropped it right then," she said. "I was too scared." Sharpe denied all of Bundy's claims, and his spokesperson labeled them ridiculous. But to the public, this prior case painted a troubling pattern. It raised the question, was Jane Doe's story part of a larger trend of behavior? The Michelle Bundy case didn't gain much traction when it first surfaced, but now, revisited in the light of Jane's allegations, it feels like a warning that went ignored. As the dust settled around the legal back and forth, new rumors took center stage, and they were just as damaging. The biggest one? That Shannon Sharpe had gotten the young ESPN staffer pregnant. While the claim hasn't been confirmed, its viral spread online made it impossible to ignore. Fans began digging into Shannon's past, especially his personal life. That's when another bombshell dropped. He has 3 children, all born in the same year, with 3 different women. They're not triplets. They're the result of 3 separate relationships that apparently overlapped. The internet didn't hold back. "He should be under the jail for that alone," one commenter wrote. This revelation only added fuel to the fire. Social media painted Sharpe as reckless and irresponsible, especially when it came to his relationships. People questioned how someone so public, so powerful, could be so careless, and whether his fame had shielded him from accountability. Shannon's silence didn't help. Though his lawyers kept up the fight in court, the man himself seemed to be fading from the public eye. His absence from ESPN became more noticeable, and fans weren't buying the temporary leave narrative anymore. With every new detail, every leaked message, and every uncovered past allegation, Sharpe's reputation took another hit. For many, this wasn't just about one incident. It was about a long-standing pattern finally being exposed. Whether the law finds him guilty or not, the court of public opinion had already delivered its verdict. Shannon Sharpe was once hailed as a legend, not just for his prowess on the football field, but for his unfiltered brilliance on television. But now, that legacy is on the line. What started as whispers about a relationship gone wrong spiraled into a full-blown scandal involving pregnancy rumors, lawsuits, leaked recordings, and disturbing messages. His legal team may still be fighting. His fans may still be hoping. But with so many red flags now flying in plain sight, the world is watching more closely than ever. Was Shannon simply caught in a media storm? Or is he finally facing consequences for years of unchecked behavior? One thing is certain. No matter how this case ends, Shannon Sharpe's name will never carry the same weight again. The story has become bigger than just him. It's about power, perception, and the price of fame. And in the court of public opinion, the verdict may already be written in stone.